Hey everybody, welcome back to another JBoz gaming video. This is your host, JBoz, and today is another rant video. Let's get into this. So, I was called a seal clubber, and it's been a while since I've been called a seal clubber, but I was called a seal clubber the other day, and I wanted to kind of dive into that. So let's first define what seal clubbing is. Seal clubbing is a term used in World of Tanks to describe the act of experienced players using elite or well-equipped lower-tier tanks to easily win against other low-tier tanks. These other low-tier tanks are usually new players who are still learning the game or trying to improve. And so I was called a seal clubber. Well, I kind of laughed out loud and said, well, hell yeah, I am. I have 8+ years of experience. So the thought that there's too many people that play this game that have that much experience is probably ridiculous. So pretty much everybody is less experienced than I at the game. So that's a no-brainer. But I think it was meant to be a derogatory, like somehow I play different tiers, therefore I am not as good as I am, which is entirely not true. But let's kind of talk about this a little bit. I am a shark, so therefore I do eat seals, and so yeah, I'm a seal clubber. Yum. And I'm a seal clubber at every tier. It doesn't matter what tier I'm at. Usually I'm beating somebody more inexperienced than me. I don't really want to reverse that trend and let inexperienced players start to beat me. So yeah, sign me up. Label me, give me a name tag, whatever you need to do, but call me a seal clubber. This term might have applied early on in the early days of World of Tanks, where you would start at tier 1 and you'd grind your way up all the way to tier 10, and by then you should have learned how to play, learn the mechanics of the game and how to play the game at least somewhat skillfully. However, that's not true today, guys. Not at all. And anybody that plays the game knows this. So throwing this term around is pretty stupid. So let me kind of first say that tiers 1 and 2 are no longer available today for new players, and haven't been available for almost 2 years. So yeah, technically the people that have tier 1 and 2 tanks are some of the most experienced players in the game. They're at least 2 years plus old. So I guess they're seal clubbers because as soon as they move up to tier 3, they're beating people that have newly come to the game. But that's just a start. So let's kind of talk about the second reason that I have that this is ridiculous. Is tiers 3 and 4 are only +1 -1. So you don't have to be a new player, let's say this, you don't have to be an experienced player to do well at these tiers, as long as you've got some knowledge of the mechanics and have begun to learn the game. And by the way, new players, they don't jump into, in World War II, they don't have to jump into multiplayer right away, what I call the ocean right away. They can jump into co-op and begin to upgrade their tanks, earn money, and so on. And so they don't play against other players, they play against bots in this co-op mode. And so it is ridiculous to think that at these tiers people are seal clubbing, because these people that are getting into these matches are for the most part aware of the mechanics, aware of the game, and they may still be young yet and still learning, and that's okay. But it's certainly not seal clubbing, not like it was back in the other day. And these people that generally use this term are people that play tier 10 tanks, and they only play tier 10 tanks. They think they are super awesome because they play tier 10 tanks. Well, guess what? Tier 10 doesn't even go up beyond tier 10. They play at the same level or below. And that means they play 8s, 9s, and 10s. Well, that would be seal clubbing. If you're playing an inferior tank against your tank all the time, which you are in tier 10s, you're doing nothing but seal clubbing. The other point that I want to make is at tier 8, where most of the premiums are in the game, are available through the store, have been given as gifts in the season, are gifts in the key cards, and so on. And so a lot of inexperienced players actually have premium tier 8 tanks that they play all the time. And so, because they're anxious to get up there and play in the higher tier tanks. And so, aren't you nothing but a seal clubber in a tier 10 tank if that's all you're playing? For God's sakes, man. Give those guys a chance. Let them learn. Come down here to tier 5 and 6 and 7 and play with the rest of us experienced players that are super duper unicorn. I mean, come on. A shark would feed where it's easy to pick off a hapless seal. It would never happen. This is ridiculous. So my final thought is shut the fuck up about higher tier players and this seal clubbing notion. It is fucking ridiculous. I've played all tiers, and some higher tier players that I've come up against are some of the worst in the game. Most of the times when I'm playing higher tiers, people don't even understand the maps, don't even play the maps correctly, let alone work together. God forbid you have anybody work together at tier 10, unless you're in a platoon. It's very rare that these experienced players playing tier 10 are somehow better than the rest of us. They are not. Some of them, some good players play up at tier 10, and some play at tier 6, some play at tier 7. In fact, I would encourage any good player to play all tiers and be exceptional at the game at whatever tier you play. It doesn't matter. And if you enjoy playing a particular tank, for God's sakes, man, play that tank. It doesn't matter whether you think someone's going to make fun of you or belittle you because you are very good at the game, you only get to play one tier. How limiting is that? So that's what I have to say about seal clubbing. So here you go. If you're a good player and you say, I want to play a tier 6 tank, I say, God bless you, go at it. And if you're a bad player and you want to play a tier 10 tank, I say, God bless you, go at it. It doesn't matter what tier you play. You need to learn the mechanics. You need to learn how to play and practice to get better, or play matches to get better. It doesn't matter what tier you play. You can get good at tier 6. You can get good at tier 10. You can get good at tier 1. By the way, my training clan, what we call that clan, is Seal Club 6. So, there you go, baby. I'm training sharks. I'm out. J-Boz. Later.